Hello there, my name is Ben and welcome back to PLAYtheGAMEcentral. So I've wanted to talk about something for a long time now, and I remember seeing this originally in the comments section. It must have been months and months ago now, saying, was I part of the Illuminati, and how did I get this information about all these games? And because I have this ability that looks almost like I'm able to see into the future, not just with games but with lots of things, because I know a lot of people at various companies, and you know, it's as easy as finding out what happens next, and that's really, really easy, unless people are under NDA, which even if they are, they just tell you anyway, because it doesn't really matter, because how's anyone going to know? So but Illuminati is a really interesting concept to me. You know, it's that kind of conspiracy theory of, are these people Illuminati or not, and Rockefeller and these lodges everywhere. And I have a couple of intrinsically interesting points to give, which maybe other people can't, because I can't go on too much about it, but now I want to make a complete distinction here. The Freemasons are not anything like the Illuminati. Okay, the idea of Illuminati is this all-seeing collection of super elite people who essentially control the world. And the idea is that they have these kind of meetings every now and then, and they wear crazy outfits, and they all have sex with each other and like sacrifice, I don't know, virgins, whatever. You know, it's all that nonsense. You know, there were crazy parties in the 70s, which were often sponsored by artists who like made people wear ridiculous things, made really weird looking things. You know, it was a really popular phase. So a lot of the photography about the alleged Illuminati came from that time, unfortunately, where a lot of people were doing some very weird things, and that's true. But Freemasons are absolutely nothing to do with the Illuminati. Now, I have direct experience of Freemasonry, and although I'm not a Freemason, I have direct experience. I know what it's like, I know what they do, I don't know why it exists, and it's actually a really beautiful thing. Like, a lot of people think that the Freemasons is another kind of occult group that's like this underground collection of people who like are plotting things, and that has such a negative kind of ideal, and that's really not what's going on at all. It literally is not what's going on. There's a lodge, a Freemason lodge, and there's lodges all over the world. It was a big English thing for a very long time. I don't know whether it started in England or probably not. Maybe it started in the US. But what happens at these meetings, and actually I can say I've been to one of these ceremonial meetings where new members are added, and it wasn't me. And I was quite honoured to go. It's something that I'll probably never ever get the chance to do again. I'm not particularly interested in becoming one, and there's many reasons for that. But the Freemasons have this really interesting denomination for what they are, and they're not a secret society. They're a society with secrets. So, for instance, whereas the Illuminati is this secret society, no one knows who's in it, no one knows what the fuck's going on. The Freemasons, you know, some people are very, very apparent about being a Freemason. There is a special Freemason handshake as well, which I now, you know, I can always tell if someone's a Freemason that I'm talking to, and that's a very kind of adept way of presenting yourself as a Freemason. It's all to do with the way that your fingers react in a handshake. And that all sounds so surreptitious and so secretive, but it's really not. And the reason I say it's beautiful is this. What happens with the Freemasons is that it's a collection of people. Okay, they're men, so okay, it is a sexist environment. Well, it's not a sexist environment, it's just a male environment. So I guess you could say that's sexist, but you know, the women could have their own one if they wanted, or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm not being sexist, I'm just saying that it is a male environment. And they don't do things like sacrificing virgins or goats or whatever. It's not like that at all. And what happens is that there's a pool of money. These people put money in, and then if a Freemason or a Freemason's family is in trouble, either financially, you know, health-wise, anything, any issues from that family get brought to the attention of the Freemasons, and then the kind of, I can't remember what they're called actually. The chief, no, it's not that word, it's something else. But the chief Freemasons decide how much money to give to that family in their time of need. So it's a really encompassing and nurturing environment, because it doesn't matter how hard the times get for you. If you're a Freemason, you know that there are going to be people who have your back, and it really isn't this negative thing that people portray. It's a very almost moving experience that humans can have, that fraternity, that level of transparency and almost kind of respect and love for each other, that they know that their money is worth donating to this cause. It's not a cause, it's not a charity, is it? But I mean, you know, it's worth donating because their brethren will benefit from it, essentially, or they may benefit from it one day. It's that kind of idea that you're pooling your money and your time to something that could in the future help you or help your loved ones or help your friends. Becoming a Freemason, I know in the UK, isn't easy. You have to be I used to have to be a direct descendant. I think now what you can do as a Freemason is you can have a friend join the Freemasons. I think it's become a little bit more lenient, but you can only have one person. Say if I'm a Freemason, I can only choose one other person to be a Freemason. That's it. I get one choice to bring someone else into that collection of people, and that's it. Then no more. But that again, okay, it's a society with secrets, but that isn't the Illuminati, and for some reason it's really, really confused with the ideals and that kind of paradigm of the Illuminati, and it's really not. It's not even a kind of clandestine or draconian society. It's just a group of people who appreciate each other and are there for each other. It's a shame that it's painted in such a negative way. I don't know what it's like in the States, so I can't comment on whether it's different and whether they sacrifice horses or whatever. I don't know what's going on there, but here, there's none of that. I mean, just really none of that. The Illuminati, on the other hand, there's conspiracy theories about it because it's not that ridiculous, the idea of the Illuminati. The idea that the super wealthy have control. And, you know, there are incredibly wealthy families everywhere, like the Rockefellers and then the Rothschilds. I mean, I've met a Rothschild before, and fucking hell, it's like an alien landing on Earth. It's not like talking to a human being, and I didn't like it at all. And it's something I will never ever want to do again. I felt like scared. It was not nice. So that thought alone, and he was young, like he was a young one. That thought alone makes me think that, you know, there possibly could be an Illuminati. You know, it's a scary way to live, like the Rothschild lives, and I don't know if I can get trouble for saying all this stuff, or maybe I shouldn't say what I'm about to say. No, I'm not going to say it because maybe I will get in trouble. I don't know. But there was a specific event that terrified me. Like, and again, it's not sacrificing people or anything like that. It's just how people are when they have that amount of money, and it's that kind of thing that you can't match it, that money. There are kind of, well, a lot of these people are oil oligarchs as well, but the mega wealthy oil barons, they can't match that amount of money. It's kind of, and the really kind of suspicious thing is that who's the Rothschild? They're not celebrities. They exist. The last time I think one was filmed was a few years ago. It's very, very difficult to track them down because they are essentially like shapeshifters. And I'm talking specifically about the Rothschilds. There are many, many families all over the world that have an incredible amount of money, but it's not a nice thing to be. And I have no qualms in believing that someone in a position like they are wouldn't affect political, governmental, and even idealistic change, like the idea of the environment and global warming. I believe any of these people can change whatever they want, because all you've got to do is tap on the back of someone like Rupert Murdoch, and you know, all you've got to do is tap them on the back, and they will be absolutely terrified. I mean, it is scary. It's not, and I don't believe that they're this kind of occult, supernatural. There is a lot of that as well. People genuinely believe that they aren't human as well, which is really odd. That's such a, I only found that out a couple of days ago when I started researching a little bit about this video to see if there is any kind of interesting fact, but it's very, very difficult to find fact about this issue. You know, there are people like Alex Jones, who is a very passionate, almost a Renaissance man when it comes to this, but he's very much entrenched in this view that there absolutely is an Illuminati and you must stamp them out. And he went to one of these kind of I watched one of his videos, and he goes to this meeting, this almost, I think it's maybe presidential meeting in this forest somewhere, and there's like lodges and people, but again, those things exist. You know, people do stuff, people go and enjoy drama, people go and enjoy music. You know, the wealthy, the super wealthy, don't go to the cinema. They don't do that stuff because they don't want to die, essentially. You know, some people rob people at cash points. Seriously, they rob people for a tenner. They'll murder someone for 20 quid. Can you imagine what could happen if a Rothschild was caught up? Could you imagine the amount of money someone could demand for to save the life of one of them? I mean, seriously, it's a main reason for why people at that, it's not caliber, because I don't think these people are any better than you or me at all. In fact, the opposite. I think that because of their, and I'm talking about an experience here, my actual experience of those people is incredibly negative, and I don't ever want to associate myself with them at all. And it completely changed the way I think about money, because I saw this kind of husk of a being demanding things and being rude and being just awful, and I can't stand that injustice at all. So I could never ever, I would never anyway, earn that kind of money, but you know what I mean, I would never participate in that. But there's also this thing that I saw about joining the Illuminati and what you have to do to join the Illuminati. It's just bollocks. You have to kill your family members to become part of that. I mean, it's nutter stuff. It's just insane. But someone's writing this shit, and it's really unfortunate. And apparently the Illuminati are responsible for 9/11. They're responsible for the Gulf War and Gulf War II. And they're responsible for this whole gamut of horrific events that actually happened. But I think people need that dark scapegoat, especially online. It feels like, you know, organisations like, they used to exist, I'm assuming they still do. In fact, they've gone very quiet if they do. But Anonymous, you know, they always kind of had that Illuminati-ist appeal. They always kind of, you know, anti-big government and anti that draconian system, which is fair enough. But there's no real proof that anything like that ever existed. But people need a dark passenger. They need a dark scapegoat to feel that the injustices in the world can be accounted for, and they can be held, and someone can be held responsible for some of the most abhorrent things that happen in the world. And to an extent that may be true, and for that reason I don't want to disprove or prove that. I can't disprove or prove there's an Illuminati. I can talk to you about the Freemasons because I know about that. The Illuminati isn't so far-fetched. There are people at that level and with that amount of money who I'm sure are breathing down the necks of a lot of people. I would never ever want to be involved with anything like that. And you know, it's I'm talking specifically, I'm saying that because people said, am I in the Illuminati? And no, I would never ever want to be involved in anything like that. Money to me is just not, it's not in my current setup. I don't want that. It's just peace and love. So no, I don't want to join the Illuminati, and I'm not part of the Illuminati. But, you know, could there be an Illuminati? What do you think? I mean, maybe you've seen something that changed your mind, and again, you have to be very selective, especially online when you're talking about the Illuminati, because it seems as easy as putting in the all-seeing eye in fucking everything is Illuminati, and that all-seeing eye isn't an Illuminati symbol. I don't even know why that's suddenly associated with the Illuminati. It's such an odd kind of thing to put, to kind of justify or install into this kind of medium that is the Illuminati. It's just, that's not what's happening. I don't know why that exists. But you have to be very selective with what you think about the Illuminati. But again, there are those ultra people, or ultra level money people who... Ultra level money people, that is incredible grammar, Ben, thank you. Thank you, Ben. No, thank you. No, no. Thank me. But there's that level of people that do exist. And what do you think about it? I mean, is it the worst thing? Is it keeping you up at night? I mean, it's not keeping me up at night. It's just... It's an interesting concept and is probably a load of horseshit, but there are people who could potentially be involved in something like that. That's all I'm saying. But I'd love to hear your opinions. If you could leave a like on this video, I would love you for it. And thank you so much. Have a peaceful day.